if
it
you
feels
have
like you read
if
my
you have
mind. You
any
read my mind.
if you have any hopes if you have any hopes on doing anything, do not compete against the Killer King because it will kill your dream. It will kill your dream. That's it. So if you're thinking of, for example, getting a third belt, don't try and do that against the Killer King because it's game over already.
You know what? Anybody who ever thinks of fighting you, even in their dreams, they should wake up and come apologize. Because because that dream is dead on arrival. But I like to put I like to put MMA guys on the sport because I feel like the top 3 skills, we talk about the mindset, and let's talk about the skill set. Before we dive back into today's conversation, I want to share something important. This episode includes a paid partnership with BetterHelp, a platform designed to make starting therapy easier. I know from my own journey as a leader and entrepreneur that life can sometimes feel overwhelming. There are seasons where stress, uncertainty, and pressure build up, and you need a safe space to process it all. That's where therapy comes in. Therapy isn't only for people facing clinical challenges. It's a space to reflect, grow, and find better ways to manage stress, relationships, and personal goals. It takes courage to seek help, but it's also one of the smartest investments you can make in your mental and emotional well-being. That's why I'm proud to highlight BetterHelp. With BetterHelp, you simply fill out a short questionnaire and get matched to a credentialed therapist in just a couple of days. If the first match doesn't feel like the right fit, you can easily switch therapists at no extra cost until you find someone who truly connects with you. Inside the platform, you'll also find tools like journaling and group sessions on different topics that can support your growth. And with over 7,000 reviews and a 4.5 Trustpilot rating, BetterHelp is a platform you can rely on. So if you feel like you'd benefit from talking to a therapist, visit betterhelp.com/KingDames. That's betterhelp.com/KingDames to get 10% off your first month of therapy. Once again, this is a paid partnership with BetterHelp, and I encourage you to take that first step if you've been thinking about it. Sometimes the best investment you can make is in yourself.
Welcome to the King Dems podcast, where we share the stories of extraordinary people and dissect hot, relevant topics that shape our world. From visionary leaders to trailblazing creatives, we uncover the mindset, strategy, and grit behind greatness. Whether it's business, culture, or personal growth, we ask the real questions. This isn't just conversation, it's transformation. The King Dems podcast. Your next breakthrough starts here.
Music licensing reimagined.
We're live, ladies and gentlemen. You're once again welcome to the King Dems podcast, live from the Riverside studio in London, England. Make welcome. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, my co-host, Noella, the best sales expert on earth, Rook, and our wonderful guest, fighting out of the red corner. He's a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 26 wins and 11 losses, fighting out of Croydon, England by way of Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire. Make welcome the Killer King, Alex Lohoré. How are you, Alex?
Hello. Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing great. I'm excited for this fight coming up. Yeah, I can't wait to be there.
Okay, brother, we appreciate you. We appreciate your body of work. And of course, we have a special introduction for you. So sit back, relax, while we'll give you your flowers. So, champions today, we're joined by a true warrior, a man whose name commands respect across global combat stages. Alex, the Killer King Lohoré, is not just a fighter.
Lohoré.
He's Lohoré. Wow, I'm not French.
There's an E at the end. With an accent on the E.
French
Lohoré.
people, excuse my French, Lohoré. Sorry, sir. He's a symbol of discipline, resilience, and evolution. Born in France, raised in the UK, and representing Africa with pride, Alex has built a career that reflects pure grit, from his early days in MMA to becoming one of Brave CF's most respected fighters, with a professional record of 26 wins and 11 losses, and a journey filled with lessons about belief, purpose, and mindset. As he steps into the Brave CF 100 main card in Bahrain this November, representing the continent on one of the biggest global stages in combat sports. We'll dive deep into his story, the battles inside and outside the cage, and what it truly means to live with the heart of a king. Alex Lohoré. Right? Welcome to the King Dems podcast. Brother. Let's take French classes now.
Yeah, it's
Lohoré. Lohoré,
Lohoré.
right? Lohoré, right? Wow,
Lohoré.
wow.
Lohoré.
Is it bon après-midi now or bonsoir?
Bonsoir.
Yeah, bonsoir, Monsieur Alex
Monsieur?
Lohoré.
I haven't
Yes.
taken French in forever.
Whoa. So bonsoir, Monsieur Alex Lohoré. Let us start from the beginning. When did your journey as the Killer King truly begin? And what has actually inspired you to step into combat sports?
You know what? Literally coming into MMA was literally just by luck. One of my friends saw a new club opening in the area, and he was bothering me to go with him all the time. I don't know, I wasn't really feeling it, but I went with him one time and never looked back. I just enjoyed it, and yeah, I literally quit my job and just started doing that full time. I found like peace and freedom in the sport, you know? So I just thought, yeah, let me just do that.
So you did not choose martial arts chose you.
Exactly, yeah.
Interesting. Wow.
That's
Noella.
amazing. Yeah, we're actually talking earlier. We are mentioning to each other before this call how the most aligned experiences sometimes they come randomly or they come by luck. So that's actually amazing. It's kind of the same situation. You didn't know. There was no way you could have seen that that was going to be such a massive part of your life. You just kind of fell into it.
Yeah.
We know that you represent multiple nations right now. France, the UK, Africa. How does
Now,
that
free nation, not multiple, free nation.
three is multiple.
We gotta be, well, yeah, we gotta be precise.
Okay,
Because
precisely
because
three.
they're not any nation. They're not any nation. They're,
Bro.
proper
You
nation.
represent
Obviously,
Nigeria as
That's
well.
fair. That's
You
all right.
fair.
represent Nigeria as well.
I was born in France. So
Mhm.
obviously
Let me
I've
raise
got to
the flag. Let
represent
me raise the
France.
flag, brother.
Yeah.
You represent us as well, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. And then obviously I am originally from the Ivory Coast. My parents are from the Ivory Coast. Obviously they
Mhm.
migrated from Ivory Coast to France. And then I migrated to the UK. So I live in London. I've been living there since 2005. So them free country made me. So like I said, I walked into a gym in the UK. I wasn't doing no MMA when I was in France. My background in Ivory Coast gave me my physical abilities. So yeah, the whole three uh, made the Killer King, you know. So that's why I have to represent the three countries. But yeah, we also
Absolutely.
represent Africa. We represent Palestine. You know,
Yes.
we're about the the real people, the good people. We want peace on earth. We want good people, happiness, and just evolution moving forward.
It
Now
sounds like
Positivity.
you've proved us correct. You've proven us correct.
Yeah.
peace is one of the main themes that you've taken from being part of so many different cultures. Has there been any other identities or any other mindsets that have really set in that you think have been because of you're from several different nations or you represent so many different types of people?
Yeah, obviously me being from three different, background has made me understand people a lot, different cultures, different way of talking, different way of communicating. You can say certain things in certain places and they would not take it the same as a different place. So yeah, me traveling and being well, every day I'm always either speaking French or speaking English. So it's like, I've learned to kind of be in the middle and understand people more. So yeah.
Wow. French. Bonsoir, monsieur. I'd love for you to teach us something in French, but before you do
Je suis
that,
le meilleur.
what
I
does
am
that
the
mean?
best.
Well, I love that. I love that. So, you are the best in combat sports. We are the best at podcasting. So take it, or just take it, or you take it.
Yeah.
So, Max Holloway in the UFC say something. in order to be the best, you have to beat the best, and the best is blessed. So, what has been the biggest challenge early on your journey to becoming the best? You're faced with self-doubt, your environment, discipline that is required to stay consistent. But for you on your own journey, what has been the biggest challenge on that journey to becoming the best?
Just to be fair, biggest challenge was consistency, man. Being able
Mm.
to stay consistent, obviously being able to fund yourself while being consistent. Yeah, actually doing it. That was the hardest thing. Right now, for me, it's more of a lifestyle now. But at the start, it was really difficult. I had to work and train, and it was very difficult at the start. Now it's more of a lifestyle. I coach. I obviously I train myself, and I obviously compete. So it's all in one. It's all together. It's all I do, and I'm enjoying it.
That's awesome. So I know you self-train and you're self-made and you
I
really
have a
had to find
team.
a
I have a team. I have people that I train with. I have guys that I work with. But obviously, everyone's got their part. So I've got someone for the striking. I've got someone for the wrestling. I've got someone for the jiu-jitsu. I've got someone for the conditioning. I've got someone for like the massage, fitness, osteo, physio. So I've got a team, but I chose the team. I
Mhm.
just put them all together.
When you were first starting out, kind of first building that team, maybe it was just you and a trainer or you just by yourself in a gym. Did you have a defining moment where you thought, I can actually do this? I can actually do this for real. I can do this professionally. I can build that team. I can do that.
Yeah, yeah. So from the start, when I first started, obviously I went to the local gym that I said my friend, took me. So it was a team. So there was loads of people training there and stuff. And then after maybe a year, well, after 2, 3 months, they asked me if I wanted to compete on an amateur show. Obviously I said yes, and I competed, and I saw like how it works, obviously the fighting, the ticket sales, the crowd, and I just thought there's a big potential in this, not just in fighting, but in everything else. At the time, it wasn't legal in France, so I saw that straight away, that obviously in France is not legal, and I know they will be legalizing it over there. So if I get onto it now, I'll be a step ahead from everyone over there. So, which is obviously happened. But now the difference is, because I've started in the UK, the people in France, they don't know me, and they're always disrespecting me, and, you know, talking about my losses, and not actually, considering what I've done, what I've achieved, on, like we said, with a small team, with a um small circle. For example, Fahedin, they're calling him a legend already. I don't think he's done as much as what I've done. He's he doesn't have as many fighters I've got. I think I've fought in bigger organizations than him, more organization than him. I think I fought for titles more than him. So yeah, I should be called a legend too. But the only thing that separates us is obviously he's 41 and I'm 35, obviously 36 soon. So yeah, that's the only thing that separates us really, is obviously the age and obviously the technical abilities. I think my technical abilities are way more rounded. I'm comfortable in more area than he is. We're going by from what we've seen online and through his fights. And yeah, we are happy, we're confident, and we're looking forward to it.
Whoa, you were actually battle tested, and to be honest, in MMA, a record of 26-11 is super impressive. You've got more wins than losses, even if your losses are multiplied by two. So we see the likes of Charles Oliveira, for example. He's a legend, and of course he's got uh, a lot of losses under the belt. The losses actually are not just losses; they're lessons. right?
Yeah,
The lessons, and people are very fickle minded. I have trained combat sports and I know why I did not go pro, right? So I have a very big respect for humans like yourself who
yeah.
are brave enough to go pro.
It's
They say
yeah,
fortune
it's not
favors the brave.
easy. It's
Yeah, it's not.
it's a life choice, you know?
Hmm.
You've got to put your life into it to get to that top level. Otherwise, you won't be able to do it. It's hard work every day. Is yeah, ups and downs, injuries sometimes, not being able to do certain things. And obviously sometimes you want to fight, but you can't get a fight.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot for the mind, for the body, for the soul. It's I just love the whole martial arts, the whole MMA kind of, you know, the lifestyle. It replicates real life a lot. You know, there's so
Life
many
is a
things
fight.
from yeah, so there's so many things from MMA that you can take and use in your everyday life, you know, throughout the
Absolutely.
training. Yeah.
Absolutely. I love the fact that you speak about mindset, right? And when you look
Yeah.
at the title of this podcast, it's called the Kingdoms Podcast: Growth Mindset, Leadership, AI, and Business Insights. That is what we are about. And the philosophy that we hold very dearly on this podcast is mindset, skill set, tool set, right? And
Nice.
we know, thank you very much, sir. We know that MMA is a physical game, but what a lot of people do not realize is it is first of all a mental game, right? And your nickname, the Killer King, it carries a lot of power. But what does it
Yeah.
truly mean to you? Like, what does it truly mean? Is it about the dominance, the mindset, or something deeper?
The Killer King is just a fight name really. Is how I approach my fights. So that's my persona as a fighter. So when I come into competition, into my Killer King persona, it's destruction. It's obviously with honor and control. As you can see on my Instagram, I call myself the king of control violence. We do the violence at the highest level in every department, you know, wrestling, jujitsu, and striking. So that's there you go.
If it feels like you read
If
my
you have
mind, you
any
read my mind.
if you have any hopes, if you have any hopes on doing anything, do not compete against the Killer King because it will kill your dream. It will kill your dream.
Period.
That's it. So if you're thinking of, for example, getting a third belt, don't try and do that against the Killer King because it's game over already.
You know what? Anybody who ever thinks of fighting you, even in their dreams, they should wake up and come apologize. Because because that dream is dead on arrival. But I like to put I like to put MMA guys on the sport because I feel like the top three skills, we talk about the mindset and let's talk about the skill set. The top three skills you require for success in MMA, in my opinion, are wrestling, the grappling, which is jiu-jitsu, and striking. I feel like the best form of striking is Muay Thai.
Yeah,
What's
that's
your
my
opinion? Yeah, what's like the top three in your
yeah,
opinion?
that's what I do. That's my favorite. Muay Thai is my favorite out of all the arts. I like the violence of it. Elbows, knees, high kicks, and
The art of the
whatever.
eight limbs. The art of the
Yeah,
eight limbs. I'll
that's
give it over to my co-host.
yeah, that's my favorite. But yeah, for me, I feel like if you do an MMA, you should have a good, obviously Muay Thai or boxing is okay. But if you have a good Muay Thai, you're good. If you have a good wrestling, offense or defense or both, you're good. And if you have a good jiu-jitsu, you're also good. But the main thing I feel is the conditioning. Because if you're tired, all your skills goes away. So yeah, that's the hardest bit I would say for in MMA is the fitness. You know, being able. People don't really feel it or understand it because you have to do it to feel it because people don't realize how much energy it takes to go from striking into grabbing someone and then
Mm-hmm.
into back into striking and then into takedown and then into jiu-jitsu and then back into that's crazy, like cardio, like battle of energy, you know? So yeah, it's important for me to mention that conditioning for me is the number one thing to um to make sure you have, you know.
Well appreciated.
So it sounds like anyone who gets into the ring with you, anyone who's around you should turn around and just go back home, right? It sounds like you're definitely a
Yeah,
winner. You're a killer.
if you're on the wrong side, if you're on the good side, you're okay. You can
Mm.
roll. But if you're on the wrong side, then yeah, it's difficult.
And it was obviously it's a road to get there, and you've had to face some sort of loss at some point, even if you are in a phase of being an absolute monster, killer, someone that no one should ever come close to. How do you usually, or how did you mentally reset after a loss in order to get to the point of being a consistent winner like you are?
So dealing with a loss is, first of all, you've got, as an athlete, you've got to understand that you can't win them all, and losing is part of the sport. Obviously, we all want to win them all. There's guys that win them all who are unbeaten, like John Jones, for example, but I one in
Habib.
a million, you know? So from the losses, what I did was obviously look at the mistake I made and then went back into training. They just motivated me. They motivated me to do better, to carry on, to be consistent. And also, the main motivation is the haters. When you get the haters cussing you every day, then you use that to go back to training and to get even stronger and better. So next time you can shut the haters up. So yeah, you got to use everything that's around you to become the best version of yourself.
Mhm.
Mm, I love
That's
that.
amazing, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any type of faith or spirituality that plays in your journey, or anything you do before you step into a fight that you go through at all?
That's my everyday thing. That's my number one thing. I am a Muslim man. I follow Islam. So that's number one for me. Without, like we say, without God, we wouldn't have been here. It's everything is from God. Um, like I said, I'd never, if you ask me, or like when I was maybe 10 or 11, are you gonna do MMA when you get older? I would have never chose MMA. I would have said football, or I would have said, yeah, I was most probably said football. Never thinking about boxing or kickboxing or MMA or anything like that. So yeah, the journey, I just take it as it comes. My whole life has been that, you know. My life has been so different than most of the people in the world. Obviously, I'm a lonely child. Um, so I don't have no siblings, big brothers or little sisters or little, yeah. I've got a big family. I've got a big family, loads of cousins. I've got step brothers though on my dad's side. They're all in Africa. I know not all, some of them are in France as well and in the UK. But yeah, done everything, you know, with the power of God. The reason why I'm still here today is because of God. He has a plan for me. I don't know what the plan is, but I'm just driving and keep going forward. That's it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I think AI is going to talk about maybe some daily excellence and some things that you do every day just to remain as excellent as you are. So go ahead,
Yeah.
AI.
Whoa, brother, salam alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Wow, it's great that you're a person of faith. I'm a Christian, but I also, very much respect the Islamic faith. I've read the whole of my own faith scriptures, and of course, I've read some parts of the Quran, and I understand like the whole five pillars of Islam. From
Yeah,
the Hajj to the Salah to even the almsgiving, which is zakat, right?
yeah,
And of course, confession of faith. What do you call it again? I've forgotten technical names, and of course, I think the very last one is you have the pilgrimage as well. It is wonderful to see Christians and Muslims come together and understand that there's only one God and believe in that higher power and that higher purpose, right? So
Yeah.
very much respect to you. And of course, you were talking about God's plan for your life, that there's a part of the Bible that says his plans for us are of good and not of evil, and to give unto us an expected end. So brother, God has great plans for you, and we actually wish you, very, very well. And of course, wish you success in like all of your future endeavors. And speaking of excellence,
Thank you.
you're welcome. I've always said it on this podcast that people don't relate to perfection, they relate to excellence. And it's
Okay.
really beautiful that you are a person of excellence, and not just a person of excellence, you are authentic, you're unfiltered, you're raw, you are who you are and unapologetic about who you are.
Yeah, but that's a big problem. People don't like it.
That is your
That's
problem.
why
That
they
is
don't
your
call me a
problem.
legend, even though what I've done is incredible. You
Brother,
know?
I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this, right? Take a 50-pound note, right? Take a
Yeah.
50-pound note, put it on the ground, step on it, put it in the mud, rumple it, or take it to the shop. That
Yeah.
50-pound note will buy the same thing that a crisp 50-pound note will buy, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good. So you are that 50-pound note that has been, robbed, but it doesn't tarnish your value, because your
Yeah,
value is not
exactly.
determined by what people say. Your value is determined by what God says.
I mean,
You get it. So, the fight game actually it demands like a mix of fear and focus. But how do you channel both when you walk out to face another warrior? Because this is not an untrained person. You're fighting another warrior. And
yeah.
like, how do you stay motivated, with that hunger for excellence? And I also like for you to weave in, as a big brother that you are a veteran, you are a legend, and I'd love for you to provide advice to, the young generation of athletes as well.
Yeah, I'm literally very up for that. That's what I said. When I finish my career, I will definitely still be in the martial arts, obviously managing, coaching, and doing a whole lot. Obviously sharing my knowledge to the younger generation. Yeah, just passing on the words. I've got my son who's 3 years old. He's gonna be 4 on fight night. So
Happy birthday in
yeah,
advance.
he's already training and he's enjoying it. And the thing is,
Wow.
I didn't even make him.
Right.
Literally, I just obviously I take him to training with me sometimes, and a lot. I take him with me, and yeah, it's just a natural. It's just a natural.
Mhm.
He enjoys it, and I don't even force him to do it. So yeah, again,
The power of leading by example.
yeah, exactly. The God's will, man. I didn't really, make him want to fight or train.
Mhm.
Interesting stuff. You said God's will. There's something you guys say in Islam, mashallah, meaning God has willed it. So if God has willed it for your son to be a fighter, I guess he definitely will find that calling. And as a veteran fighter, like, how has your training philosophy evolved over the years?
Say that again, sorry.
Okay, I said there's something you guys say in Islam, right? Mashallah, and mashallah
Yeah,
means God has willed it. So
God.
how has it
Yeah.
changed over the years?
So really, I've always been training smart, like literally using the word as it sounds, as it what it means, training. So for me, it's always been training. Even when I go into the gym, I'm training. I'm not competing with my training partner. And that's one thing that most of the fighters don't do. They compete with each other in the gym when really they should be training in the gym, which means learning new skill, understanding what you're doing, comprehending what don't work, sorry. And yeah, the whole thing. So the whole aspect of what we're doing. So the whole aspect of fighting. So, and there's so much things. So that's why sometimes I don't get when I see people coming into MMA And then after 3 years, they're in the UFC and then they get black belts. And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? I've been doing this for 10 years. This guy, definitely, if you put this guy in front of me, he's not a black belt. Like, there's so much things, but everything is changed now. Martial art is a little bit, I'll say, the real roots of martial arts are a little bit dying due to the social media stuff, money. Everyone wants to be like, like I said, people are not black belt level and they're getting given black belt level. They're getting given black belts and stuff like that just because of their name or where they compete, not because of the art. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's something that I'm not involved in. I like the real roots. That's why I've been doing jiu-jitsu for over maybe I think 10 years now, and I literally just got my brown belt the other day. Why? Because I don't put the gi enough for me to feel like I'm a black belt. You need to be able to use the gi to comprehend the gi properly. Most of the guys who have black belt in MMA, if you put them in the gi, they don't know what to do. So yeah, for me, I like to keep things real. So regarding my training, the way I train is I make sure that every day when I leave the gym, I've learned something new or I've improved on something that I wasn't, good at before. Or I always go in with, not all, but I always go in with a plan of training for the day.
And
So
for our audience who might not know, I know you say they don't know what or they don't have proper practice of the gi. What does that mean
The
for people
gi
that
gi,
and
may
no
not know?
gi. Yeah, I was going to touch on that. Before you talk about it, I'm the martial artist here, between
yeah,
me and my co-host. And I'm going to put you on the spot, right? So, gi and no gi jiu-jitsu, right? The gi
yeah.
is like that white coat that looks like a lab coat
Oh,
that these guys
okay.
wear
Okay, okay,
for
okay.
fighting.
It's a
And
kimono.
yeah, like a kimono, just so that the layman understands, right? And traditionally, you need to wear the gi. That's the traditional jiu-jitsu.
Jiu-jitsu.
But you also have the non-traditional jiu-jitsu, which is the no gi, right? And no gi, for example, what you have with UFC BJJ that is going on right now, right? And the thing is, no gi competitions have actually come to stay, right? Even though that is not the traditional. So
Mm.
are you like against the new school in which you have black belts in no gi, and of course you still have the black belts, the gi black belts? So I'll love for you to differentiate and of course talk about it, speak to it.
Yeah, so I feel like obviously the no-gi is a different game. There's so much that you can do in the no-gi because there's not the grabbing. So the body is free. It's all about
Mhm.
yourself. If you are a
But
flexible person.
sorry to interrupt you, but I feel like the no gi one is what is more applicable in MMA, because
Yeah, yeah,
in
yeah, of
MMA as
course.
well, you're not putting
Of
on a
course.
gi.
Yeah, of course the no-gi is much better for MMA. But for understanding the basic, understanding what you're doing, understanding what jiu-jitsu is, you have to put the gi on. And you have to comprehend what jiu-jitsu is by putting the gi on. Obviously, no gi jiu-jitsu is more for obviously MMA and to be a bit loose. It's a different style. Like I said, without the gi, it's more of a personal thing where if you're more flexible, if you're faster, if you're, I don't know. Yeah, like I said, more flexible, faster, better gene, you can
You're more
always
athletic, basically.
yeah, you can always find a way out. But with jiu-jitsu, it's 100% technical. You can be strong, you can be flexible, you can be whatever, but the gi always stays the same. The grips are always the same. So if you don't understand what grip to do at the right time, when to move, what to block, what to not block, then you're not going anywhere. You can be the strongest person you want. If you don't have the right skill, there's nothing you can do. But in Nogi, you can every time you can explode out, you can find a way out. If you're flexible, you can get your legs over. There's so much you can do. So yeah, that's how I see it for me. It's just different. And this is why even more I don't understand when people are getting given a black belt and you never wear the gi. So you don't wear the gi, but then you're gonna get a black belt and no gi. It's crazy because no gi has got so much more than gi, you know? So like for me it's just so I don't get it. But everyone is allowed to do whatever they want. This is my mindset. This is how I see things. Obviously, I've been in the game from a long time now, consistent as well. So yeah, I feel like I'm allowed to, put out an advice from someone that's been in the game for that long.
So walk us through like your perfect fight camp, like what it looks like when you're leading up to a major event.
Perfect fight Camden never exists, mate. That don't exist. There's always something. The life of a fighter. You always have a little niggle. You always have a little thing. You've got stuff outside of fighting that might be bothering you. Life of a fighter and a training camp. It's it's something. It's a
Mhm.
battle. It's a fight in itself. That's why it's such a good relief once you've jumped on the scale and made weight and you know that it's fight night tomorrow. It's like finally all the hard work, everything sacrificed, dieting, all that stuff that's done now. You just go and enjoy the fight now.
Right. So the training itself doesn't really matter because at some point there's going to be some factor either inside of the training or outside of the training that's going to throw you off anyway and you just have to deal with it. And as
Yeah,
long as
yeah,
it's really
exactly.
just
But
about
it's yeah,
getting the training done.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's all about getting the training done. Obviously, accordingly to your opponent. Yeah, that's it. Just keep turning up, work that game plan that you have with your team, and then just go and put it in place on fight night. It's
Mhm.
easier said than done, but yeah, it's all about that consistency and that hard work.
Show up and show out, right? So, like, how do you balance the mental aspect and the physical conditioning?
So balancing the mental and the physical, that's 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 the difficult part. But I feel like it's important to talk to yourself. It's important to get advice from people who are where you want to be. It's important to have a good team around. And yeah, I think that's the only, for me, what gets me going is actually doing what's need to be done. If you know you've trained your hardest at the best you can do, there's nothing else you can do. So that should give you that confidence to not, doubt yourself because you gave it all. You couldn't have done anymore. So for me, that's what gets my mind going.
So, what's your most underrated skill that separates good fighters from great ones or, the loser to you? Like, what's the one skill or like what's a secret sauce that maybe you
Um,
have or the greatest fighters have that separates you?
what separate the greatest fighters like me and the rest of the great ones is that we have a natural fighting instinct. So we do things without knowing, but it's the right thing. There's people who do things instantly and then, oh no, that was the wrong move to go. For us, it's automatically the right thing. It's something that, like we was talking about earlier, it's a God-given ability. I never decided to be like that. I can't even train that. All I can do is just train what I know and just repeat it and just hope it comes out in the fight.
So,
And that's it.
would you call that fight IQ? Because in the MMA circle, there's a lot of talk about fight
No, it's
IQ
not the same.
lately.
It's not the same as fight IQ. Fight IQ is something totally different. Fight IQ is understanding what to do in the fight. What I was talking about is fighting instinct, when your
Hmm.
body just reacts automatically to save you. So yeah, that's
Don't you think
something.
they're closely linked? Because you talk about
No,
IQ,
they're
for
two different
example.
things. Because
So, I'm
IQ,
separating
remember?
fight and IQ, right? When we talk about IQ, naturally,
Okay.
intellectual quotient, right? you see that there are people who become good drivers even without going to driving school. They work with
Yeah.
their instinct. There are people
Yeah.
who are good with
So that's what I'm
numbers.
saying.
Yeah,
So that's what I'm saying.
naturally.
There's people who can be in the gym and train and do blah, blah,
Mm-hmm.
blah, but then when
Mm-hmm.
it comes to fight night, they fight, they don't have the natural ike, but they're the best in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and there's guys who are not the best in the gym, they get beaten up, but when they go into the fight, it's like, oh, something else, because now it's like leave or die. So
Yeah,
something else comes
kicks.
out,
Yeah, that's
kicks
Do you
switch.
in.
think that that has to do with fear?
I think so. Most probably fear or just the will. I'll say fear and the will to win also. Yeah. Or will to not get beaten up.
Right.
Yeah. Me too.
That's crazy. That's crazy. We've had some guys come from lower promotions into the UFC lately. Case in point, Patchy Mix. I don't like what has happened with the likes of Patchy Mix and was the other guy, Patricio or Pitbull. So it's fighting, but you go step up into a bigger promotion and it feels like you're freezing. So what you're talking about guys who are very good in the gym, who are naturally good, now going out on fight night and freezing. And my co-host talked about the fear. So
Yeah.
I think the fear factor is also a thing. But what do you think is attributable to these recent, step ups from PFL, Bellator, guys going to the UFC and not being the killers that we used to know them as from like the lower promotions when they were fighting? Because it's still MMA you're fighting.
Yeah.
So what would you attribute that to? Is it also like the fear factor, or maybe they're being overwhelmed by stepping up to like a bigger promotion?
For me, I would love to carry on. You're asking if I like to go to a bigger promotion.
No. I'm saying that these guys, we've seen these guys come in from Bellator,
Yeah.
PFL, right, into the
Yeah.
UFC, right, in recent
Yeah.
time, and not putting in good performances, right?
Yeah.
So what happens, as a fighter, you have that mentality of the fighter, you have that killer mentality, right? And we saw these guys, they were killers from Bellator, from PFL, but they step into the
Yeah.
UFC, it's a big step up, and it's like they freeze and they are not able to replicate those performances. We've seen you from Cage Warriors, come to
Yeah.
Brave and you're still performing. But what happens when these guys change promotions and they're not able to replicate that level of excellence they used to
It's
showcase
just
in
it's
those?
just the level of fighters in the show, really. You know, you can come from, for example, the level of fighters on obviously Cage Warriors. I haven't fought on Cage Warriors since maybe 2018. I was on Octagon before coming to Brave. So yeah, sometimes you're in an organization and you're at the top of the organization, you're one of the best fighters, and you go to another organization and then there's the level of fighting is different. You got guys from different places, and yeah, you might not feel yourself there. And it's part of the game. You just gotta adapt yourself and just know what you're good at and what you're not good at and where you can go and just be real with yourself, really.
Mm, interesting. So I'll give it over to you, my co-host, to quiz you on what she thinks about what I say this common card. It's a very special one. Brave CF 100. That's a milestone. That is a
Yeah,
milestone, and you're
so
a part of it.
obviously this event, it marks a very proud moment with not just you, but 4 African athletes on the card. What does this representation mean to you personally? Okay. So Brave CF 100, it marks a super proud moment, not just with you, but 4 different African athletes on the card. What does that representation mean to you personally, and how do you handle the pressure of representing an entire continent, in front of the entire world?
For me, it's not pressure. It's what I do. That's what I want to do. That's why I wear the crown. You know, that's why I put it out there. I want to push this sport to my fellow country of Ivory Coast. So, guys can live off the sport, just like how I live off the sport and, by using my physical ability given by God. So I know I've got loads of cousins, step brothers, friends, and loads of people who are in Africa who have better physical ability than me, but they don't have the facility, they don't have, anything for them to get to it. So, showing them that there's someone from their country who's doing it at the top and who also wants to share. It's not a pressure for me. It's more like a duty.
Hmm.
So it drives me to do it. Like knowing that this is, happening and, the opportunity is there. It's a motivation. It's not a pressure.
That's awesome. That's
Mm.
so awesome to hear. We're just gonna do a quick fire round. AI is gonna explain that, and then we'll wrap it up and let you go. I know you have to rest and recover. You got a lot going on, so
Yeah,
Whoa, pressure makes diamonds, brother. So we are
that's
going to
it.
put you
I
on
was gonna
the
say
on
that.
the five pressure questions. Five pressure questions, quick fire round, fun and insightful. So just give the most authentic and quick answer you can give. Are you ready to rumble?
Let's go.
Let's go, brother. So the very first question, your walkout song before a title fight. What is that gonna be?
I don't have a special walkout song. I just choose on the moment. So I don't know yet. You'll have to see on the night.
okay. Who's
Yeah.
the toughest opponent you've ever faced?
The toughest opponent I've ever faced. I think it was some guy called Carlos Vemola because he was full of everything, every possible performance announcement stuff.
Whoa, he was juiced up, you know. So
Well, you can watch the
quick,
fight. It's on YouTube.
okay, his name
Alex
is
Lohoré
Carlos.
versus Carlos Vemola.
Okay,
It's a
I
five
sure, I
round
sure.
title fight, but this guy is like, he's not human.
Superhuman. I'll watch it. I'll give you feedback. So, what's one African dish you cannot live without?
Of course, the official Ivorian dish, which is called the acheke,
Acheke. What is it made out of?
cassava.
Whoa, cassava.
So it's cassava drained up, dried up, and then like turned into like a couscous kind of thing. And we eat
Okay,
that with fish, we eat that with plantain, we eat that with grilled chicken and a bit of like spicy stuff. It's a traditional Ivorian food, yeah.
we have something like that in Nigeria. We call it gari.
Gary, yeah, it's a bit similar, yeah.
Oh, cool, cool.
That sounds really good. What are 3 words that describe your mindset going into Brave CF 100? 3 words.
Ooh, 3 words. I got more than three, but purpose, faith, and peace.
I love
The
that.
calm,
Purpose,
the
faith,
calm
and
before the
peace.
storm.
That's
The
it.
calm before the storm. I love that. And of course, finish the sentence. A true champion is someone who dash.
Who shows the example?
Mm,
A true champion is the one that shows the example. So people
mm.
can look at him and say, I want to be a champion like him.
I love
That's
that
it.
because there's something I've said on the podcast before. What is important is not the example of your power or the power of your example. And,
Yeah.
I love that you love to lead by example. From me, and of course, my co host, it's a very, very big thank you to you because when a person shares their time with you, they share their life with you. And the SI unit for measuring life is time. So, love and respect to you, brother. And of course, we wish you the very best in your title fight. And of course,
Thank
over
you.
to my brilliant and beautiful co host, Noella Rook.
Yeah, I just want to thank you for your time and your energy and everything you do just to represent all the people like you, all of the cultures that you represent, not just representing a man of faith, a man of purpose, a man of drive, a man of excellence. it just shows the impact that your longevity is going to make for generations to generations. When you look at your son and he is looking up to you, just know that it's not even, obviously, not just him. It's the ripple effect of your greatness, of your strive, of your resilience, and of your ability to never give up on the purpose that God has over you reaches much farther than you can even imagine right now. So we're just so happy to have you. And I just really greatly appreciate your time. Really greatly appreciate getting to know you and meeting you and understanding the killer and who you actually are, what makes you you. Just thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bro,
That was great words. That
brother,
was strengthening
we love
words.
you. We love you. Appreciate you. We want you to give us a quick shout out, right? Just quickly tell people why they should listen to the podcast, what you love about the podcast, real quick in just 1 minute. Podcast. And of course, like talk about Brief CF, that people should watch the fights.
Yeah, so
Yeah, just that shout out thing. Yeah.
what's the podcast called again? AI? No, that's your name.
The King Dems podcast. The King Dems podcast.
Oh,
The King
the
the
Kingdom,
King Dames
Kingdom.
DEMS Dames. King Dames podcast.
Okay, Kingdom podcast.
Yeah, the King Dames
Well,
podcast,
I'm just gonna just talk about how my experience. So I feel like this podcast is great because we talk about real stuff. We talk about stuff that are important. We talk about stuff that are human. So for me, it's very important nowadays because of all the virtual stuff, the AI, the stuff like that. We slowly losing our realness, our human side, you know? Everyone is using technology now to do everything. So yeah, having a podcast like your podcast with real humans talking about real stuff, it's great. So I recommend people to listen to it and to even come on it if you can.
Thank you very much, brother. We appreciate
Nice one.
you. And of course, your fight, November 7th,
Yes.
Brave CF 100. Guys, go tune in. And of course, watch the Killer King take on the throne, rightfully. From
Let's
us,
go.
it's love and respect. And of course, from Noella Rook.
Yeah, just want to thank you again. Thank you so much. We wish you so much luck. Just blessings over you and your family, your training and your healing and everything over your body for this fight. We're just so grateful to have you on here and we wish you nothing but the best. We want you to come home with a win. So that's all I have to
Thank you.
say.
Go grab
Nice
this
one. Thank
W,
you very much.
brother. God bless.